Continuing from the previous part, it was Gu Yanxiu and Gu Yangchen's fierce battle. He had no intention of fighting her at this time, but she had made him angry. Before she could strike him in the opening she created, he counterattacked first with a strong punch, and won the battle. Scene changes to him sitting alone in front of the big door. Winning wasn't in my plans. Damn it. To think the 2-star internal energy could make her nose bleed and knock her unconscious. Is it okay? I hope nothing happens. Remember what Gu Yanxiu said to him. You should have just disappeared. Makes him feel even sadder. Young master, are you okay? You're not hurt anywhere, are you? Well, how's the situation inside? But since they all thought you'd just be beaten up, the entire atmosphere is abuzz that you won. Well, makes sense. To think that the bastard rumored to be a scoundrel defeated an upcoming prospect. Although the atmosphere did settle a bit since the second elder immediately began to conclude things at the Unified Dragon Assembly. He stood up from the chair. So he's doing that right now? Then let's get out of here before we bump into the second elder. Soel-Ah cared to ask him. Young master, your hand is bleeding. Oh. This is proof that I can't handle my internal energy properly yet. It's no big deal, so. And saw her wrapping her hand in bandages. He looked at his hand. Is this how you do it? I don't think so. She once again tears welled up. Sorry Soel-Ah don't know how to do it, so don't get hurt. Wu Jin also got the chance to talk about it. Read the room, fucker. Huh, did you just sui? Nice to meet you, young master Peng. I am Gu Yangchen. And nice to meet you too. Peng Ahe hiding behind shyly said. Brother, please. Let's just go. Then smiled towards Yang Cheon's side. It must be awkward for you. Since you and young Lord Gu were once engaged, take this opportunity to reconcile. Brother. But he found it difficult to understand. Why are you here? Wouldn't it be good to use this opportunity for strong people to make connections and become friends? No, just call me Brother Peng from now on. Peng Wuhan put his arm around his shoulder and pulled him aside and have a friendly chat. Getting close to someone like me won't benefit you in any way. Someone like you? I thought the Gu family only had the sword phoenix Gu Wibi. To think there'd be a talent like you hidden within the Gu family. He looked and thought, why is he naturally talking to me informally? Judging from how you mentioned Gu Wibi, I'm guessing you know my sister? Of course. We're super close, but I don't know what she thinks of us. Then you're not close. This means we're plenty close enough. Then since it's late, I'll get going. But before leaving, he still stood staring at him. He don't understand. Do you have anything else to say? The day our engagement was broken off, she continued shyly. I was mean for hitting you with a chair, so, but suddenly he said first, sorry. I did call you a concubine spawn, or whatever. I'm still immature, but I was more so back then. I definitely did something worth getting hit, so you don't need to apologize. Hear this word of him. Her smile reappeared. All right. Don't lose what brother gave you. What are you talking about? Then noticed put hand inside his shirt. He held in his hand a wooden board with the word Pang written on it. What is this? Then her figure gradually disappeared before his eyes. Goodbye. He looked up at the night sky. There are still so many things that I have to fix. Let's go. Yes, young master. Evening on the horse carriage, everyone go home together. Soel-Ah was now sleeping soundly, lying next to a servant, and he sat by the window thinking. No matter how I think about it, I don't remember sparring against my sister in my previous life, much less winning against her. Beginning with how Soel-Ah joined as a servant. So many things are starting to diverge from the past that I knew. Could that small act of kindness have changed something? After we get back, I'll need to move faster than expected. But suddenly, he felt something unusual. Look out and say, Mu Yun, check the demon sensing charm? There are no changes, young master. I don't know what you sensed, but it'll automatically glow if a demon realm gate opens nearby, so do not worry. As soon as the words were spoken, the amulet glowed. Then Mu Yun screamed really loud. Everyone, stop. It's a gate to the demon realm. Assume combat positions. The safety of the young master is of utmost. But as soon as he finished speaking, he was already below warming up his muscles. What are you doing here? It's dangerous. He hear this a lot, so he replied, I'll listen to the sermons later. Look ahead of you. A green gate appeared right in front of the path. Before everyone could finish speaking, the gate gradually became wider. A horde of monsters rushed out with their ferocity. He also began to gather energy on his arm. Green means it's the lowest level of danger. It may be tricky, but it's fully manageable. Then he knocked out the first one with one punch. On hand began to pull out a green object. The universal weakness of monsters. The demonic stones. They are similar to a heart for monsters. Upon extraction, the monsters instantly die. It's easy if you just extract the demonic stones. But by the time he killed the second one, his body had already become exhausted. Crap, my energy has already dissipated. Keeping the goo flame will arts going is rather difficult. However, if I want to survive, I need to use the flame will arts. But a word from afar surprised him. Young master. In the blink of an eye, Mu-yeon was standing right in front of him, on the hand holding the small sword. The skills he used continuously cut these into pieces. He looked and could not believe his eyes. Whoa, was he always that strong? After killing everyone, he turned and asked. Young master, are you okay? You're done already? That was fast. Yes, there weren't many monsters to begin with. And thankfully, they were the lowest class of monsters. More importantly, what were you doing? If you were to get injured, well, what's good is good, right? It's not so simple. But now his arm started to show signs of change. Purple color appears on hand. Mu-yeon turned to remind everyone. Anyway, next time, you must evacuate to a safe place. But suddenly he collapsed to the ground. The pain immediately made him speak out loud. The crowd is now running with anxiety. Young master. What's the matter? He hugged his arm and cursed inwardly. Ami getting that shitty feeling from here. Then look forward. This is the heavenly demon's art that absorbs demonic energy. Memories of past life begin to reappear. Why did you do this? What did we do to you? Why are you doing this to us? Blossom splitting blade, are those your last words? As soon as he finished speaking, a head rolled over. Saw the familiar face of the sect leader. As soon as he finished speaking, a giant shadow appeared, covering the entire large yard. In the sky is a giant dragon with a person standing on it. The blossom, it wasn't terrible. Then the dragon rider from above began to jump down. He then bowed down in respect. But it was nowhere near enough to satisfy me. That being said, I was able to get some shallow joy from it. So raise your head. The energies just appeared on his hands, running down to the dantian. Back to reality, when the energy from the air emitted from his hand. What is this? Is the flame will art purifying the demonic energy? No. It's consuming it. I don't think this ever happened in my previous life. Seeing him in pain and screaming, two people were worried. Young master. Are you alright? He immediately sat up and said okay. It was nothing much. I guess I was more hurt from sparring than I thought. Then I'll search for a doctor nearby who can treat you. I'm okay now, so there's no need to worry. He think I should hide it for now. Nothing good will come out of people knowing that I absorbed demonic energy. But Soel-Ah's eyes glistening with tears called him. Young master, you look super hurt. Is it painful? Does it look that way? It shouldn't be that bad. Your face, it looks bad. Hearing that, he was a little angry. What did you say? But very quickly another servant came and pulled her out. Soel-Ah, you should be helping the young master, not annoying him. I was just worried. Mu-yeon asked him. Young master, if you aren't feeling well, we can visit a nearby apothecary. It's not that bad, so don't worry. I just need a good night's sleep, so let's get ready for the journey again. If that's what you say, then everyone gathered to prepare to leave. He looked at his hand. I no longer feel the demonic energy in my body. Did the goo flame will art really do something? Seeing as the color of the demonic stone faded, the demonic energy has been properly absorbed. Anyway, I need to get moving. Then he immediately crushed this magic stone. The next day everyone went to the market together. The honey cake sparkled like gold. Soel-Ah's eyes can't leave this place, even for a moment. Mouth kept muttering, honey cake. Seeing him leave silently, she was startled. Why did you bring Soel-Ah if you weren't going to buy me honey cake? Seeing her about to throw a tantrum, he turned around and said, what are you saying? I said that I have business at the market and you used your grandpa as an excuse to follow me. Mu-yeon also asked him curiously. Then, young master, why did you come to the market? You haven't recovered from your ordeal. If there isn't a reason for you to be doing it the day after the Unified Dragon Assembly, I think it would be best to return home. Is there something you're looking for? If so, I will assist you in searching for it. Leaving Soel-Ah, still drooling as she looks at the honey cake, he said as he walked. I understand that you want to help, but now's not your time. After going a little further, he stopped. Looking down the alley, a familiar figure appeared. That seems to be the way, doesn't it? What is it? What is in this alleyway? Before going inside, he reminded her. Soel-Ah, go home. Mu-yeon, follow me. She asked worriedly. But why? Go back to the clan. I'll be back by afternoon. So let the other servants know. She made an excuse again, but Grandpa. He heard and turned back. I'll give you 10 honey cookies if you go home now. Her eyes gradually became more sly, along with dumplings. He also did not hesitate to accept the agreement. Of course. Then the two people shook hands to compromise. Successfully closed the deal, he said to Mu-yeon. Then, shall we get going? Where are we headed? You will find out. Two people walked and looked around these houses. I think it's somewhere here. Young master, this is a more dangerous location. I know. Go a little further. Then he stopped. A strange building. Looked a bit dilapidated, as if it could collapse at any moment. Then both walked forward. I was almost worried that it wouldn't be here. Young master, why did you need to come here? Why? Does something seem off? To be frank, yes. Rather than the appearance, I'm getting a bad feeling about the building itself. He heard and then sneered. Oh, you've got keen senses. So he opened the door and looked. There was a group of curious hooligans inside. Who's this brat? Someone shat out a baby here? What kind of gross crap you saying? The guy behind the brat has a sword. What should we do then? Should we kill him? Seeing the thugs, Mu-yeon was about to reach for his sword. But one of them came out from the crowd, with a lamp. This isn't the peaceful town to be poking around in. What brought you all the way here? What else? I'm here as a customer. Seems like our kiddo's got an attitude. Think it'll fix the issue if we chop off your tongue? Mu-yeon heard and felt angry for him. On hand began to take hold of his sword. How dare you? But he reminded, just back down for a bit. You already knew who I am from the moment I stepped foot in here. Are you worried that the Gu clan will wipe this area clean? We don't have a reason to do that. Besides, it'd be a loss for us now. Before things turn into the situation you fear, bring me the regional manager. After hearing this, the guy burst out laughing. Regional manager? I don't know where our little kiddo learned his crap from, but he's lacking a ton of something called a respect. As soon as he finished speaking, other people from inside came to surround him, but he still calmly said, You guys don't seem to be the polite type either. Then he laughed. Guys, get them. Just issued order. The crowd rushed forward with their swords, but Mu-yeon also started to draw his sword to protect him. Do not think of laying a finger on the young master's body. Then continuously slash the sword. Cut very precisely into each person's weak point here until the last one stopped. Seeing the people lying around, he was still not harmed at all. This brat is still the heir of the Gu clan after all. I ought to have expected some crazy bodyguard to be attached to him. I can't bring a kid like this to the regional manager either. What should I do? But behind the door, there is someone ready to open the door. Captain. The regional manager has something to say. The regional manager? Crap, has he already heard about it? I'm screwed. Then turned to talk to the other guy. What did he say? He heard people mumbling to each other from afar. He was confused. They are clearly plotting something. I guess I have no choice. Then he ordered Mu-yeon to kill all of them. But a voice from afar stopped this. Hey, kiddo, sheath that sword. The regional manager wants to meet you. Then he complained to them. You should have said so earlier, damn it. Mu-yeon, sheath your sword. Shall we go? Seeing him go ahead, Mu-yeon ran after him. Wait, young master? Young master, I just don't understand the... It's no big deal. I was planning on going to the beggars sect, but there were a few problems. The beggars sect were able to secure a spot amongst the 10 largest sects with the information they possessed alone. However, since they are still a part of the orthodox sects, they do not take jobs that would cause trouble. The request I need to make is a little problematic. So I needed to go somewhere else. If the beggar's sect is the best of the orthodox sects in regards to obtaining information, this is the place for the unorthodox sects, the house sect. When he first got down, there was someone waiting from afar to greet him. I am the Shangxi branch leader, Du Wenchu. We weren't expecting someone like you to visit, so we apologize for coming out aggressively. He slowly sat down in his chair. No need for apologies. Will you accept my commission? Before that, can I ask why you didn't go to the beggar sect of the prestigious Gu clan when we're small and unorthodox? He got straight to the point. I came because this is a commission that the beggar sect can't do. It's something only the house sect can. Why do you keep trying to check? I apologize if I made you feel uncomfortable, but due to your last name, we have no choice but to be careful, so please understand. I know. So will you accept the commission or not? The house sect cannot refuse commissions, as long as you have the price, that is. Then I'll take it as you having accepted the commission. I'm looking for someone, a boy who's just a bit older than 10 now. Then give him the details. He looked at this person's information, and then told him, I apologize, young lord, but I think I have to take back what I just said. I don't think I'll be able to accept this. A commissioner we had before you is not looking for the child, but for the whereabouts of the person who is protecting the child. So please understand. Even if the commission fee is about the house sect leader? His words made the eyes of the people behind him turn cold. Everyone in the gang wanted to draw their swords out of their sheaths, and together they wanted to slash at him, but there was a faster Moyen sword that blocked all at once. I thought you weren't going to come out aggressively. How do you know that? I'm not here to talk in riddles. Isn't it important that we both have information that the other needs? Can you verify the truth of your info? You should confirm it yourself. Carefully considering things like this is something you should do when you're in a desperate situation. If you don't need it, then forget it. I'll just look for the beggar sect. Maybe slip some things about the house sect leader to them, too. Words come here. The hand of the Gunchu guy kept shaking and hesitating. By his words he accepted. I understand. He replied, good. How long will it take? Around 3 months. Yes, that's fine. Then he stand up. Then once you find him, let's exchange more information. Before he go he say one more thing. The sharp mountain range made him startled immediately. Looking at him leaving. This is your advance. He fell into deep thought again. The guys said. The sharp mountain range. Do you trust his words, branch leader? Judging by the fact that he knows top secret information that the sect leader is missing, I have no choice but to believe him. Then he thought about him. What was he thinking? Seeing how skilled the guard is who came with him, he must have known that we would come out aggressively like this. This information can't be something only the young master knows alone. I'm sure the Gu clan head is also involved. Damn it, and then he held it to his neck. Pull out a mask. Is it okay for you to take it OFF? Then she said it just felt stuffy. There's no one watching now anyway. The house sect typically doesn't respect, trust, or follow the sect leader, which is why was hiding. In order to avoid those who were after him, the girl closed her eyes and thought of the gang leader. Mouth said father. As for him, he stepped out of the door and then breathed a sigh of relief. If it came to it, I was going to tell him to come at me. But it's a relief that the little info I knew of became of use. What I know is that the Had sect leader was captured by the Dark Knight Palace for more than 5 years and that, as a result, the Had sect and the Dark Knight Palace go into battle, causing the Dark Knight Palace to collapse and the battle to come to an end. But during the battle, the Had sect leader dies, resulting in the extinction of the Had sect. However, I don't know the exact location of the Dark Knight Palace. I was lucky. The fact that information like that worked is thanks to the house sect's branch in Shangxi, and me meeting the branch leader. This is quite annoying, but I need to do this to find him. The boy who reached the position of top management for the demonic cult at a young age. The tactician, known as the brain of the demonic cult, Heavenly Fang Zhuge. I'm thinking of finding and killing him. Even Soel-Ah struggled because of his tactics. If I don't deal with him in advance, he'll help in the advancement of the demonic cult. But seeing you go for a while in a daze, Mu Yun asked. Anyway, young master, although I don't know who it is you're looking for, if it'll take 3 months, you'll only hear from them at around summer. It seems the people of the house sect aren't as informed as the rumors say they are. I'll only be able to get him in the summer. But after saying that, he thought again. Why did I just think of this? That the Jinchuan clan's secret chamber operated by the first merchant association was discovered? The countless riches stacked within there don't matter. What's important are the priceless spiritual pills. A character who rose to a high stage through the power of spiritual pills would become a demonic human later on, becoming a huge source of strength for the heavenly demon. Zhuge Hyuk is an issue. But so is the secret chamber. Even if I want to prevent that, the secret chamber is in Sichuan. He closed his eyes tight. There's no helping it. Let's give up. There's no way to go to Sichuan. And how would we even find a place that's hidden so well? Let's just buy some honey cookies before going back. Scene changes to the second elder's side. You missed a leaf there. I came all the way because Yang Cheon was causing trouble. To think this old geezer was the root of it all. Wei Hyegun smiled back at him. Stop laughing and work. Work. Gu Ryan, what do you think you're doing? Then he clenched his hand, and the broom was crushed immediately. I mean, I'm just assisting you in your disguise as a servant of the Gu clan. Then help me sweep the floor. Second elder was scared and worried. You broke the last one. Then go and pluck your hair to make one. In the end, the second elders were still the ones who had to sit and pick up the debris from the broom. And Wei Hyegun sat leisurely drinking water. I doubt you came this far just to see that boy. Or maybe you did. Second elder turned his head. Have you sensed it too? The kid who refused to train his footwork and ran away 6 months ago has bested his sister. In addition, the flow of his flame will art has stabilized. Don't you think he has immense talent? We can't just leave him be. I don't know whether to call it talent. I have never seen anyone improve so quickly in my life. There must be something about that child. The first elder will not stay put. If he finds out, he might have already made a move. The first elder is definitely such a person. Where is the boy now? I doubt he'll cause too much trouble, with so many eyes on him. And on Soel-Ah's side, what do you mean? What do you think of coming to me? I can make you happier than he can. But then she hid behind his back. I'm sorry, but this is my servant. Just who are you? Who the hell is this guy who's asking for why Soel-Ah? Look at him blushing. I don't know where he's from, but damn him. He explained, I apologize. I have wronged you, young Gu master. Do you know me? Indeed, I do. My name is Gu Juliop. I would like to request for a spar with the bloodline of the main family. He bluntly replied, I refuse. I won't fight. Are you running away? Yes, I am. Are you scared? Yes, I am. How feeble. Tao Omicron run from something like this. Seeing him say that, he was even more happy. You've got a keen eye. I'm indeed extremely feeble. I caused that mess in the fight against my sister. You think I'd make the same mistake and spar with some random guy? But he didn't know. Right behind him a big shadow appeared. Second elder told him. Why not accept it? What brought you here? When this guy's is bowl him. I greet the second elder. It's been a while, Juliop. Do you know him? Yang Cheon, don't you remember? He's the first elder's grandson. He just noticed now. They do share the same face. The second elder pointed at him. Juliop, do you want to fight this lad? Yes, but he avoided it because he was scared. More like you're here to hit on girls. Is it an order from the first elder? He thought, was that why? It is a well-known fact the first elder is an ambitious man and is waiting till I, the useless one, inherits the clan. However, after seeing me, who he thought was useless, defeat Gu Yanseo and mess up his plans, he must be trying to use his grandson. Tao Omicron stomped me down again. Just as I had said before, I have no intention of fighting you. The second elder solicited. He came all the way here. Just one match. No. It's obvious I'd lose, so why would I? Then he laughed. This old man has a hunch Yang Cheon won't lose, but he is lazy to argue. Just at a glance, I can tell he's much stronger than Sis. I don't want to fight a losing battle, or get mixed up in politics. But suddenly he stepped forward, grabbed Soel-Ah's hand to hold him back. I feel that Yang Cheon is undeserving of you. If you come to me instead of that cowardly freak, I can. Hey. Remove your hand and follow me. When the situation had gone too far, he let out a sigh. I'm starting to regret this. But he once again patted him on the head. Don't be like that. This kind of fun fight with a new martial artist will be sure to help you improve. Yes, anyway, since things turned out as you said, you need to do me a favor. Whether I win or lose, I have zero reason to do you a favor. It's only your loss if you lose here. You're the future clan head, after all. Elder, I think you're mistaken. I have no intentions of becoming the clan head. After hearing this, he was suddenly shocked. Then asked again. What are you talking about? Who else could become the clan head other than you? But he think, I already gave up all hopes of becoming one in my past life. But it seems like people think that I want to become the clan head. Then he reply, I'm going to roll on the ground and surrender if you won't do me a favor. Soel-Ah heard and imagined that scene. The second elder heard and felt discouraged. You're so far from adorable. Alright, but on one condition. A condition? I'll do you a favor if you win. Gu Jiliub stood for a long time then asked, Are you all warmed up? Somewhat. I'm sorry about this. What are you talking about? I did too much at last year's duel against you. Who would have known that? You would have been bedridden for a month after that? He tried to recall this. That was a long ass time ago. I don't remember that happening though. I thought back then that you're too weak. I did hear that you won against the second daughter, but I think that is just a coincidence. My grandfather does not seem to think so, but what I hate even more is, for a weak man to become the clan head. As soon as he finished speaking, his hand seemed to transmit energy into the sword. He stood still as if nothing had happened. Once again, Gu Jiliub called him the second elder. I would also like something. If I were to win in this duel, that's only fair. What do you want, Jiliub? He pointed his hand towards Soel-Ah. I want that maid. Seeing him say that, his smile became much crazier. This little fucker. He found this challenge to his liking and responded. All right, start the duel. This time, his aura was even more intense than him. He has a little fear in his heart. He spoke in a provocative tone. What are you waiting for? It's only polite to have the weaker opponent get the first attack. Weaker? Who? Me? Is that why you're so afraid right now? In his heart at this moment is thinking, I'm certain that I'm better than him. Whether it's an inner energy, speed, or strength. Is it because of that guy's aura? No, no way. He's just full of flaws from top to bottom. I'm sure he's trying his hardest to deal with the inner energy I'm exuding right now. And that means, just as he finished thinking, he saw his internal energy immediately shrink back. I knew it. It only makes sense that he'd run out faster since he has less inner energy. Now he's out of inner energy. But Yang Cheon now began to prepare his legs to sag. You said I can attack first, right? Yes, come. As soon as he finished speaking, Yang Cheon appeared right on top of his head with his somersault. He leaned to avoid the gaze and started to regain his confidence. That was a good move, but you're too slow. But unexpectedly, this move was a series of his fists that had come together for this punch. A punch swung directly at his face, leaving him unable to react. One more move before he was sent flying. He jumped up and did 3 somersaults in the air, landing with his foot aimed straight at Jiliub's face. This move caused the surrounding rocks and soil to explode. The first drops of blood on the arena floor appeared and flowed from Jiliub's mouth. Get up while I'm letting you, so that you won't cry that I ambushed you later on. Or are you already done? I do apologize for having underestimated you. I was lacking. Alright, then we're done here. But he stood up again although the wound on his body was still there. I have yet to attack. Yang Cheon thought, I guess this won't be as fast as I wanted. I don't have much time. Usually, I would utilize inner energy by exuding it like what he's doing. But in order to fight someone stronger, I need to embody the inner energy within myself to reinforce my body. However, my body cannot handle inner energy like that yet. If I push myself too much, it might kick off energy deviation. I have 7 minutes. I need to finish this fight within 7 minutes. The sword technique he uses starts and ends with the utilization of friction force between the sword and sheath. If I just watch out for that, preparing to draw the sword out of its sheath, seeing his movement of his eyes seemed to seize the opportunity, immediately leaning forward when his sword slashed. Jiliub's movement was like a storm of flames, spreading around but only missed. But Jiliub refused to give up, continuously slashing towards him. But every movement was skillfully avoided by him. The moves in his technique are so connected and natural. I can tell he's trained hard. However, that also means that if I cut him off, he won't be able to do anything. He started to gather power at a point on his palm while he was approaching his chest. Seeing him show an opening, he appeared behind him, preparing to slash with his sword. At the right moment, he immediately clenched his arm. An explosion behind his back immediately hit Jiliub's side. The moment he released all his energy was enough to end this fight. Seeing the power released like this, Jiliub couldn't believe it. Jiliub can't believe it. How did you manage to exude this kind of energy? While Jiliub was still bewildered by this, he gave him a final punch to the middle of the stomach. Following the momentum, Jiliub flew straight away and then lay motionless with a hole in the wall. Do you know what I hate the most? Whether you insult me, act like shit, or try to take the clan head position, don't give a single shit. But you tried to take what you dare not covet. I don't like that he tried to take something that he does not deserve so easily. Should I break his arm so he can never try something like that again? A huge arm touched his shoulder. The voice of the elder echoed, "Good work, Yang Cheon. That's enough." Followed by a scolding while he was resting. "You were too harsh." Then he replied. He should have been prepared for that much. He got up on his own and went home after, too. Doesn't that mean he's fine? Aren't you worried about what the first elder is going to do about this? Who cares? I don't care about becoming the clan head anyway. Don't say that. Who else would become the clan head if not you, a direct bloodline? Anyone. Mu alpha upsilon beta epsilon u? Then pointed to Soel-Ah next to him who was eating cake. This isn't something to joke about. When say it he thought, when is she gonna learn to wield a sword? If she was called the direct disciple of the Sword Supreme, she must have been taught by the Sword Supreme, but she's learning chores all day. I've never seen her near a sword. I don't think she's always been this stupid either. What was it like when I met Soel-Ah this winter? When he remembered this in the past he suddenly realized. It shouldn't have been something that was easily forgotten. Seeing his expression was not quite right, she asked the young master. I knew you hurt your head in that fight. Make me captain before you go to heaven, young master. As soon as she finished speaking, she was hit on the head by him. As for the second elder, he didn't want to mention this matter too much and immediately stood up. Let's talk about this later, I'm sure you're tired. Go rest. But was about to leave when his voice stopped him. Where are you going? You need to keep your promise. So what do you want? Money? Food? Nothing as trivial as that. I'm sure you're powerful enough to help with something really difficult. Am I wrong? What are you gonna ask for? Send me to Sichuan. Hearing him say that, his head still couldn't load. Can't you do that much? You're the elder. Why don't you just go then? I was worried about what kind of favor you were gonna ask. I guess I worried for no reason. But elder, I said Sichuan. Not the marketplace in town or a picnic. You know that the only son of the Gu clan shouldn't be going around wherever he wants. I'm sure you're aware that I need to have an important reason to go somewhere that far. He said, just attend the Tang weapons exhibition. I just now stupidly loaded the information. The Tang weapons exhibition. An event held every year where the Tang clan invites other households to exhibit weapons made by artisans. Well, there's no need to attend, but you could just use that as an excuse to go. If you fought a duel you didn't even want to just to ask this of me. Elder, that was actually just a joke. I think I was asking for money instead. I see. Then his eyes became serious. I didn't even realize. I guess getting old really is scary. If not money, then at least a spiritual pill. Then on his excited face along with his assertive words. All right. I'll send you to Sichuan as early as I can. I'll show you the power of an elder. Elder, I take it back. Please just give me something else. He refused to listen to these words from him anymore. Mouth shouted loudly like determination. I'll send you to Sichuan right now. He heard and froze. There's no way that's possible. You'd need to report that first, and I'd need to get ready. It's an urgent order from the elder. Send young master Yang Cheon to Sichuan right now. He was still frozen, unable to react to his godlike speed. Young master, we're ready to leave. Still this body and movement, he was very quickly sitting on the car. Very quickly there were sounds of waving. Goodbye. From afar. Have fun. Seeing him leave, Hyagun also turned around and went in. Now let's get to work. Me too? Of course. You want to have an old man like me do all the work? Then the second elder said, there's only two of us. Please listen to my worries. See the second leader babbling. It sounds like you sent him off in a hurry just to tell me your worries. A few days ago, the clan head asked me about the immortal physician. It seemed like he was asking because someone asked him to. Why the immortal physician? Seeing no response, the second elder continued speaking. If you're not gonna say it, then I'll change the topic. Your granddaughter. Was we so are? She didn't seem human. What is she? You're crossing the line, Gu Ryan. Watch your mouth. Hyagun revealed his aura along with his sword intent, but the second elder still said, if she were human, I would sense a presence. Similar to yours. The vividness of the presence only differs from person to person, but when I first met her at the Unified Dragon Assembly, that child had no presence at all. If you think that the immortal physician could come down to fix her with divine skills, you better give up that dream. You know better than Mu Epsilon that that is no disease. That's enough, Gu Ryan. That child is human. The second elder finished asking these questions, then closed his eyes and turned to leave. If you say so. If you wish to defend her, then do so. What I want is not important. What if she's not human? I just need to help to make up for what she lacks in humanity. At this time Hyagun also cancels the intent swords with a gloomy sadness. His hands clenched. If need be, I will give my life for it. Soel-Ah, please grow up safe and sound. A few hours after, the Sword Supreme will realize that Soel-Ah has disappeared. The sky gradually turned to evening. Now we just need to prepare the food. We still have a few days until we get to Sichuan. We'll have to ration our food. Where did the young master go? I heard that he's going to be training while we prepare things. I guess he must be bored. We should have brought Soel-Ah. And he is still constantly practicing martial arts to improve his physical strength. The last blow also caused Cho to dent the tree into a large lake and then sit down on the ground, breathing heavily. I only did a few moves, but I'm already out of inner energy. It's been almost 10 days since we left, and despite consistent training, I'm not seeing much progress. The biggest problem I faced during the fight against Juliop was the amount of inner energy I have. Inner energy is the basis of all martial arts, so I need to hurry and raise it. Remember before that his hand absorbed the technique. The demon well absorption art is a way to absorb inner energy from a demonic stone like from a spiritual pill. However, you also end up taking in demonic energy into the body, corrupting the user. For some reason, the Gu Flame will art purified that demonic energy. After that, I haven't felt any demonic energy, so I feel like I could raise my inner energy without side effects. But this is still the heavenly demon's martial art. It'd be best for me to not use it, and I barely managed to escape. I can't get back on the damned demonic path again. But suddenly there was a loud scream from the crowd that made him turn his head in surprise. He thought again, what the hell is this? Then he walked back and asked, "What's going on?" "Young master, it's in the carriage." He opened the door and looked in. The image of Soel-Ah innocently crawled out from inside. "Young master, I ended up coming. Come back in the afternoon. Soel-Ah wants to go too." "Nope. You're still bad at housework. Then why did you let me go last time?" "You mean the Unified Dragon Assembly? Because there were people who could have prevented you from making mistakes there. But there isn't anyone to do that for you in Sichuan. If you understand, help me move this stuff." She looked at the pile of folded clothes and said as she carried them. "He said he won't be back for a month at least." But it's true that Soel-Ah is bad at housework. Young master hates unhelpful people too, so I guess Soel-Ah has no choice. But as she was putting away her clothes, a voice spoke up. "Who?" "No one's there. I feel like I heard the voice from this box." Then a white arm suddenly pushed her forward. By inertia she crawled inside. From inside she looked out. "Someone pushed me." "Who is it?" "You shouldn't play pranks." Then two hands appeared again and made her sleepy. And then she lay in the storage room without anyone knowing. "Let's get going then." "Young master, we're done with the preparations." Then a voice as if asking for help, "I'm leaving this up to you." That's what happened. Her words left the three of them at a loss for words, but she emphasized once again. "That's what happened." "Okay, I heard you the first time. So you were possessed by a ghost?" "Yes, that's right, go back." Is what she should have done. "Young master. An owl. I tried eating one before, and they're really chewy." "Wow, a squirrel this time." "So you've eaten a squirrel too? How could you eat a squirrel? You're so cruel." "No more cookies." He looked at her and thought, originally, I would have had a bodyguard take her home, but she's already come too far. And we don't have enough food to give them. Now we're just traveling together. She said, "Young master, let's trade this for a cookie." Seeing her like that, he immediately threw the cake out the window to vent his anger. "No. My cookie." Then tilted his head up to the sky and sighed through the window. "I should have just sent you back." But at this moment he felt for monsters nearby. Immediately remind Mu Yun, "Yes, everyone, stop." I knew it was too peaceful to be true. It seems like outside the monsters are rushing. But suddenly there was a slash that killed one. He feel again, only see 3 left. Then another sword slash in half to kill again. 2, 1. Then one was lunging towards him. He seemed to know the situation in advance. A hand gathered his fist and prepared to aim. But as he was preparing to punch, a voice from afar reminded. Please fall back. The girl on the hand holding the sword quickly, as if checking a move, cut the monster in half. Then she put her sword back. The girl walked up and said to Mu-yun. I wasn't able to take care of them properly because I was here alone. While looking towards Mu-yun, Soel asked Yang Cheon, who is he talking to? Don't ask me. But Soel quickly waved her hand. Only now could he see his face clearly. His expression immediately changed. He remembered the scene of this woman killing people, blood flowing like a river. The girl now asked him, it looks like you're headed to Sichuan. While interweaving past and present, there's no one here. Could I come with you? My name is Namgung Byar. He looked and scolded himself. Why is this crazy girl here? Remembering the scene of a place where crows could find corpses to eat the dead people lying around, with blood flowing non-stop. At that time he and Namgung Byar stood there. You're the only survivor. Did you kill them all? What did the cult leader say? They told me to bring you here and that you'd rampage like a crazy human. Isn't that last part just what you wanted to say? I guess you have enough sense to understand that much. Let's go. No, not that way. Go left. No, that's your right. Just don't do anything weird and follow me. Epsilon. There's something I want to ask. Is the Sword Supreme strong? I'm warning you just in case. The Sword Supreme is someone the cult leader will deal with. What is his swordsmanship like? Is it stronger than mine, stronger than the cult leader's? After walking a little further, she suddenly looked in another direction. He then gathered his weapon in his hand and threw it towards her. You crazy. Part towards her. Suddenly his move was like being split in 2 halves, then exploded behind her. Her eyes were full of anger at that moment. What the heck, do you want to fight? He sighed and pointed again, wrong way. If you understand what I'm saying, just shut up and follow me. So she walked with him a little further. He said and turned back. If you mention the 3 Supremes again, I'll rip you apart. But she again pointed her hand in the other direction. This way looks like a shortcut. He was furious to the extreme. She once again evaporated without listening to his instructions. Damn it, I wonder where that crazy girl went. I arrived at the destination within a day. While Namgung Byar took 4 times as long. Back to reality. Namgung Byar said to him. I assume you're heading towards Sichuan. If it isn't rude to ask, can I accompany you there? He flatly refused. Nope. We're not going to Sichuan, and it's definitely rude to ask. And thought, I'd be crazy to get involved with that insane girl again. Even with all that, I have a lot more I want to say. But more importantly, we can't just take your word that you are of the Namgung clan. She loaded it, not believing it for a moment, then replied, so that's it? Then her eyes gradually closed, her body began to accumulate thunderstorms, and storms appeared. And just like that, a source of energy from her shot straight up into the sky. Seeing this beam of light, Mu-yun began to prepare his sword to protect him, the ruler's sword form. If she uses that here dash. Then she opened her eyes once more. An explosion bombarded the entire night sky. This is all I can demonstrate for now, as I am not yet adept. For fear that she would harm Yang Cheon, but she was not afraid at all. Would this be sufficient evidence? You really are from the Namgung clan. Sorry to say, but I definitely think we shouldn't accompany someone with martial arts so fearsome. But a moment later saw her sitting looking at a toad roasting in front of the fire. Soel looks like that, then asks him, she's going to sleep there? I know. While I was relieved she didn't say anything when I rejected her. And why is she following us even when I said we weren't going to Sichuan? Ignoring her is the best thing I can do. I must treat her as if she doesn't exist. Don't do unnecessary things such as talking to. But now he sees Soel is not here. Soel go to where Byar at. You can peel the frog skin like this. But before she could say a second word, a hand grabbed his collar and pulled her out. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She was gonna eat a frog, so Soel was helping. I told you not to mess around. I did. Then Byar's eyes looked at him, as if she had done something wrong to him. He avoided her gaze. I understand that you're a part of the Namgung clan, but why are you like that about accompanying? She said while shyly turning her face away. We departed together, but I got lost on the way. I am sure about it. She had 0 sense of direction in my previous life. Why did I think that there'd be a different reason now? We aren't even going to Sichuan, so why are you following us? I had a big hunch you were heading there, but it seems like you really weren't heading to Sichuan. Soer heard that and found it strange. Then looked up at him as if to give her information, but he shook his head. She was startled at this moment. We're not going to Sichuan? He thought regretfully. I should have sent her back. We can't stop you from heading in the same direction, but I'm not doing anything for you. I am Namgung Biar, yes, I'm aware, since I've introduced myself, could you do the same? But having said this, he thought for a moment and changed his name. Gu Juliop. I'm Gu Juliep of the Gu clan. The crowd still went on the carriage, but Soer got off the carriage and went with Bia. Naturally, our pace slowed down. He finally decided to call her, hey, get on. Are you letting her in too? Absolutely not. In that case, I don't want to. Then he asked Mu Yun. My Yun, how much longer? We'd arrive in a day if we were going at our original pace. What about our current pace? It'd probably take around 3 days. Young master. While I don't know why you're so wary of her, can't you ride with that lady? He signed, I don't have a choice, do I? Let's reconsider our options at a nearby village. They got off the carriage and said, 1 day left to go, right? Yes, it's nice that we don't have to camp out in the wilderness tonight. Soar was carried by Bia and then spoke. Let's sleep together, miss. Really? Is that okay? I permitted it, didn't I? Get down from her back. Why are you carrying a maid on your back? She said her legs hurt. Get on the carriage if your legs hurt. You told her not to get on. We're here now, so stop being rude and get off of her. Will you come down now, Soar? Seeing that, Soar raised her head and looked forward, then pointed her hand. There are people in the same clothes as you coming over here. The other guys saw Namgong Byar and immediately ran over. Sister. Where were you? Do you know how hard we've been looking for you? Sorry. I got lost. That's why I said we should tie ropes to each other. That would be embarrassing. That's why you went and disappeared not even a day in? I was worried sick about you. But, who might you be? Soar quickly reply him. I'm Soar. This is my young master. Get down right now. Then he thought if he's her younger brother, then he must be the future lightning blade, one of the 5 great swordsmen of Murim, the current lightning dragon, Namgung Chunjun. The young man then realized Yang Cheon. Sorry for the late introduction. I'm Namgung Chunjun of the Namgung clan. I'm Guya Gu Jiliup of the Gu clan. It's an honor to meet you here. An honor? You're being too nice. Then his eyes just change. But why is it that you're with my sister? Hearing that, his body involuntarily jerked. We coincidentally came across each other on our way to Sichuan, so we got here together. I thought you weren't going. I also walked here, Chonjin said with him. It seems like my sister intruded on your party. If it's okay with you, why don't you stay in one of the rooms we booked? We booked quite a few. It's okay. We just did what was natural. Then he thought as he looked at Bia. I'm sorry, but I don't want Tio be involved with that crazy girl anymore. I'm sure we'll be able to find another room. But at this moment, Mu Yun came to bring the news. Young master, apparently, there are no more rooms available. Then prepare Tio camp outside. Mu Yun's tears were about to cry. Young master, we are tired from days of camping outdoors. Do you intend on making us sleep outdoors again? Of course, we'll be all right, but, well then. I'll accept your offer. The first thing Namgung Byar did as a demonic martial artist was neutralize her own clan. Her brother as well as the clan head, and all the disciples. After this, she achieved the title Demonic Blade Empress and began her rise to fame. I wondered how much she hated them to have done something so cruel to her own clan, but I don't see any problems other than her relationship with the lightning dragon. I thought they would be more like Gu Yansio and I. What I'm most curious about is the Namgung clan's secret technique, ruler's sword form. I feel like she must be stronger than the lightning dragon considering that technique, but at this point in time, she has no title nor fame. Her brother seemed normal though. Is there some problem I can't see? But just stepped out and met her younger brother. He still gently replied, did you sleep well? Thank you for giving us such a nice room. But surprisingly he still walked straight, even nudged him, and spoke in a provocative voice. You should know your place. I tried to be nice for once, But you just don't seem to know your place. I'm telling you that you don't deserve to talk to my sister. I don't know how you managed to seduce my innocent sister, but if this happens again, I will cut you in half. And that girl that was on her back. Just at this moment her door opened, Chongjin's voice and demeanor suddenly changed to gentle again. I'm glad that you slept well. I am grateful to be able to help someone of the Gu clan. We'll go and have breakfast now. Then push her go with him. I looked bored and didn't even bother to say anything. They were all insane. When he stepped outside, Mu Yun was already waiting. Did you sleep well, young master? The Namgung clan. Yeah, don't mention them. When are we gonna leave? We have already finished preparations. We'll be able to leave right after eating breakfast. I'm so relieved that you're normal at least. Thank you. He opened the door and urged Soel, let's hurry. Then think. I want to get away from these Namgung people as quickly as possible. Bia see him, reply. Sorry for not being able to say hi earlier. You're here, young master. The dumplings here are really good. Have some. You can have mine too. Do we have to eat together? Then he walked into the seat but pushed the two people to one side. It's okay, for her to eat with me, but you shouldn't be here. Shouldn't you be eating with them over there? On the other side, Chongjin was looking over with a fierce expression. I just sat wherever was closest. Your brother is glaring at me like he wants me dead right now. She still said innocently. And oh wait up, then turn around and look. Doesn't look like he is. Is he okay? I don't know what she's trying to do, but this is the last time I want to see them until the Tang weapons exhibition. He finished a piece of dumpling and immediately stood up. Then I'll get going. You're not done eating though. Let's never meet again after that. Then stand up and go outside looking towards Bia. Then please enjoy your meal. Seeing this scene, Bia fell into deep thought. Her younger brother came over and asked with concern. Sister, we were all sitting over there. Why did you sit here instead? But when her eyes turned back to look at her younger brother, she couldn't help but sweat, because she felt the intense aura radiating from her younger brother, making her feel uncomfortable. Because this was more convenient. Sit with us next time. Then she watched his figure leave again. Seeing her stand up, he asked, Sister, you're not done eating. Where are you going? The carriage. I'm going to go rest. Then he saw his sister go out to greet him. He was inside the house, angry. Hate Taiwan people interfere in our relationship. But his life was still at a standstill when he encountered this. Sorry, but why are you still following us? I'm not following you. I'm accompanying you. Let's put it that way. Then why did you get on here, even though your companion is right there? That's. Soel happily replied. Soel brought her here. He was angry but could not say anything. Mu Yun, get both of them out of here now. They'll end up getting off by themselves. We have just arrived in Sichuan. The Sichuan Tang clan. It is an extremely prestigious Orthodox clan that has had their roots in the Sichuan region for centuries. The Namgung family's sharpness, the Hebei Peng clan's vigor, the Moyong clan's precision. The Tang clan may seem lacking compared to the other clans, but they are known as the best handlers of poison and steel by far. The Tang weapons exhibition is the result of that confidence. He thought for a while. 3 days. I need to find the treasury within 3 days after the Tang weapons exhibition ends. All I know is that it's in Sichuan, and the general area it is in. How am I going to find it in such a large city dash? If I can't find it, I might have to resort to leaking it to the beggar sect. So I'll need to hurry as much as I can. But when he turned his head, Soel suddenly came, making him jump in surprise. What is she doing here, though? But Soel's eyes became bright and sparkling as if they had never experienced life. It's the first time I've been somewhere so high. The wind is also so cool. The fireflies are dancing under the moonlight. Bia also told me about a pretty lake over there. Then walked over and grabbed his hand and pulled him away. Let's go take a look together. Lotus Pond where fireflies were flying around, he answered casually. The story is really big. How large does a clan need to be for a forest to be inside of it? Then she called him again. Where do you think Soel's hiding? While she held up 2 flowers and smiled. Cut it out, okay? I just wanted to cheer you up, young master. It's not something you can help with, so quit worrying. No. Maybe if you tell me, I might be able to help. Yeah, well, if someone were to hide some valuables in this vast land, where would they hide it? Why did they need to hide it? Meanies. I'm not asking for emotional support. In the distance, a figure walked towards the two people. Who are you? Outsiders are not allowed to traverse here, he just realized now. Speaking of the Tang clan, I forgot about her. The one who single-handedly stopped the swarm of several thousand demonic humans attacking Sichuan. The girl came closer and asked him, who are you? Poison Queen Tang Soel. A woman I kill in my past life. At that time, his whole body was covered in a pool of blood. He slowly walked forward with his eyes full of no emotion. All done, Poison Queen. At that time her eyes were filled with blood. Hearing the voice also guessed. Is it you? A silly sight. Your kin had already deserted long ago. What did you think would change if you guarded this place by yourself? Nothing would change. Then why? And? What made you come here? That's a stupid question. To end your damned life. I see. I'm very sorry. Apologizing to a demonic human? Are you out of your mind, Poison Queen? Yes. I believe my sanity must have finally broken. There are too many things I only see now, after losing my eyes. Should have let go earlier. Your nonsense is over. Is that all you have to say? I know it is selfish of me to ask, but if there is time left in this world, you. But before Cho could finish speaking, he directly used his hand to strangle her to death, then turned away. He looked down at his bloody hand, cross. But at this moment her voice woke him up. Are you not answering me? I guess she's still the poison peak now? If you don't answer, I will call the guards. Suddenly an arm from behind patted her shoulder, followed by whispers between the two. Why are you only telling me now? You never asked. Once again Soel stepped towards him shyly. I am Tang Soel of the Tang clan. I apologize for raising my voice at a guest of the family. I'm Gu Juliop. I apologize for not being able to answer in my surprise. But very quickly her eyes changed. So what business brings you here? Those who are not a member of our clan may not. Is Bir not an outsider too? Our clan has allowed it, so it's fine, I think. So she's telling me to leave because she hasn't allowed me in. How petty. I was going to leave anyway. I'll be on my way, then. He and So are left, leaving her and Bia behind. Soel said, Gu Juliop of the Gu clan? Unbelievably rude, right? Soel, why did you glare at him so harshly? I didn't like how he didn't apologize even after I pointed out his mistake. Are good looks everything? I hate guys who act all rude just because they look a little handsome. As soon as she said that, her face turned red with embarrassment. Then she realized that what she said was too much and wanted to explain again. I mean. By saying he's handsome, I mean. Seeing the stuttering scene, Bia thought of him. Handsome? Soel was embarrassed and had difficulty explaining, so he concluded with a sentence. You know, guys who are homely, even if they are a little ugly, are the best. Meanwhile, he and Soar were still walking back to the room together. The next morning he was about to open the door and go out. The Tang weapons exhibition is tomorrow, so I should do some training in my free time. But when he opened the door, he met the two Namgong sisters. What business do you have today? She stuttered. Food. What food? What do you mean, food? Chanjin explained. The Tang clan has invited us for a meal and my sister suggested inviting you as well, so we came to ask. I see. You know, I'm grateful for the offer, but my personality is pretty shy, and I'd be uncomfortable. Then looked at the eyes a little unhappy. They better get my message to just leave. But Chanjin still insisted on speaking. Don't be like that. Then used a strong force to grab his hand. Although he hated it, he still tried to smile and said to him. Come with us. The hell, I said I didn't want to go. He's willing to threaten mu epsilon tau omicron bring me there? Then he radiated an oppressive aura towards him. See the pressure he radiates. His body felt fear but still did not see him fall back. I need to go, I guess. Then he pretended to smile his silly smile. I guess I can't refuse such a thoughtful invitation. I'll come with you. He used his hand to put it around his neck. And pulled him forward, then whisper. Keep fucking smiling, your lovely sister is watching you, you know? Seeing that, he became even angrier, trying to swallow his anger. Thank you for exceptioning, no problem, I couldn't refuse a request like that. Then the crowd sat at the party. He looked at the pile of things on the table and thought, I knew Sichuan was known for their spicy food, but if every dish is spicy, what do they expect me to eat? Juyok, the son of the Tang clan leader, spoke up. It's nothing fancy, but I hope you enjoy. He looked at the red dumpling. Maybe the dumplings might be edible? It's a little less red than the others. But when he was about to put it in his mouth, Soil's eyes looked at him. What's with her? She always gave me that weird look in my previous life, whenever I ran into her too. I can't believe I need to endure that same look again. But when he bit it, his tongue immediately burned. Why is it so hot? I need somewhere to spit it out. It's just too spicy. Next to him saw that gave him a glass of water. Here, water. He quickly reached out and took it. Phew. Thank you. Then picked up a piece of fish for him, placed it on the plate in front of him. Try this, it's not spicy. He just realized she was sitting right next to him. Why did you suddenly give it to me? Sorry. Cheonjin looked at the two of them angrily. His hand gripped his chopsticks so tightly that the chopsticks instantly broke into many pieces. Seeing that, Tang Juyok asked him, "Oh, sorry, the chopsticks must have been defective. It's my bad. I tend to use chopsticks a little forcefully." But what was more surprising was that Soil also came down and sat right next to him. Seeing that, he asked, "Anything you want to say to me?" "Yes, no, I mean, nothing?" "You seemed like you really wanted to." Then said to him, "I ask there anything you like." But before Soil could finish his sentence, Cheonjin asked Juyok, "Yes, it's our clan's kin exclusive training area. Didn't I show it to you last time? We do maintain it, but honestly nobody really uses it. All of us have our own personal training area. I'd like to visit. Could I?" Well, it seems like everyone's done chatting. Let's head down there together. What is he thinking? Then everyone walked down to the training ground together. It's quite spacious. Well, our ancestors thought the larger the better. But I don't really get it, to be honest. I'm sure there was some deep meaning behind it. Soil used to use it often trying to beat me up. But now that she's grown up, she doesn't want to fight me anymore. Then she lowered her voice as if to explain to him. Well, I see. I'm grateful I don't have a younger sister like her. Well, now that we've eaten, let's move around a bit to digest. How does this sound? Want to have a sparring match with Mu Epsilon? Then deliberately split the sword towards Yang Cheon. I knew it. His face is filled with intent to give me a thrashing. You think I'm going to go along with your plan? He raised both hands. A third-rate like me, fighting the lightning dragon. Sorry, but Soil now stands up for him. Unacceptable. The two of you have such a massive difference in age and skill. What if it hurts his face? He looks and thinks, this silly girl. It's alright, neither of us will use our internal energy. If we do it more like a mentoring match, it should be fine then, right? How does it sound? Then looked at him with contempt. Mentor me? Not use energy? Look at this guy. He said, can you handle it? I mean, are you skilled enough for that? Then Juyok saw and wanted to stop it. I think you may have phrased it a little too rudely. He's still your senior. But this guy laugh and talk. Alright then, let's see how great you are. Then fly out with his mighty spirit. He smiled and said to him, I'll allow you to go. But Yang Cheon also said the same thing. Yes, I'll let you have the first attack. His words seemed to anger him. I won't turn that down. I'll strike first. Holding the sword, rushing straight towards him, the first sword strike was very fast. He leaned slightly to avoid. Continued with the second move, striking from below. He raised his neck to dodge, then he guessed. Both of those attacks were just for showed up. The real attack starts now. Then he changed the direction of his sword, and the two sides continued to struggle with each other. Outside, Soil also couldn't believe her eyes, then remembered, she was different from other children. While children her age chased after dogs or cats, she frolicked with beasts like wolves or tigers instead. The slanted, ferocious eyes, and the growling, revealing sharp fangs. As beasts that were apex predators, they gave off an unapproachable aura. That power, which differentiated them from other feeble animals, was what entranced her the most. Thanks to this peculiar preference, the young girl had trouble finding love. I wonder if there's a guy like you, Donglong. I hope I meet someone at the Tang Weapon exhibition this time round. Chunjun? I don't know why other girls love his feminine-looking face. Is there no man that looks like you, Donglong? And so, she finally met the love of her life, who she had never expected. Why? Why is my heart beating so fast? This isn't good. I must be confused. A lapse of judgment caused by the cold morning air. He'll be just like the other ugly clan heirs when I wake up tomorrow. But when he went to eat earlier, she looked at him with eyes full of radiant light. His eyes are so cool. He can't eat hot stuff? How cool. Even him drinking water is cute. Then had the same expression as just now to sit right next to him. When did I get over here? If this is what love feels like, then maybe I can take another step. But at this moment a piece of wooden sword pierced the tiled floor right under her feet. When the two people now encountered each other, the sword was broken into many pieces. He smiled his confident smile. As for Soel behind, he sat down on the ground when she saw these two people fighting and couldn't help but blush. Cheonjin thought to himself, why did my sword break? I made sure he could react my first 2 attacks to play with that wretch, but I went all out afterwards. Yang Cheon said, so-called geniuses seem to have a habit of daydreaming while fighting. If this was a real battle, you would have already died 3 times. Then prepared to use his fist to attack him once more. But he instinctively knew there was danger, and immediately retreated, very quickly avoid this punch. Dirty bastard. He's attacking an opponent without a sword? Behind you. Go get a sword that's intact. He said teasingly as he gave him another chance. You said this was like a mentoring match, right? Teach me a lesson, then. Seeing the sarcasm, he became even angrier. He sarcastically added again, oh, or am I the one teaching you? Education isn't my strongest suit. But a second later he realized something was wrong with him. That bastard. At this moment, he was like being controlled by madness. The sword began to be surrounded by internal energy, then used high speed to slash straight towards him. His eyes also became angry because of that. His fist also became stronger. Using internal energy? I'll fuck you up. The two people at this moment, one sword one punch, rushed forward together. His sword slashed out like hundreds of flying swords. But just a second later, it seemed to shatter under his attack. No way. This is bullshit. Some imbecile like him is stronger than me? He smiled again. I've let you off enough times now, right, you bastard? He used his foot to kick him straight in the groin. Seeing this scene, the people outside were shocked. As for him, he was numb, feeling pain all the way to his navel. The sound of cracking and cracking the egg seemed to have been broken by force. Directly hug the lower part. Then he slowly sat down again. What? Did it burst? At this moment the pain penetrated his heart and liver. He could only make a sound. Sweating all over, unable to resist scolding him. Bastard. Seeing as how you're still talking, I guess it didn't burst. You coward, you don't deserve to call yourself a martial artist. Once all the clans know about this, you'll have to walk with your head lowered everywhere. But suddenly he asked a question. How many have you killed? These words surprised him. At least 10 people, right? What are you talking about? He started using his fingers to pull up his shirt, then used his other hand to grab the other hand as if he was about to twist it. Juliok ran to stop it. Juliok, this is enough. Please stop the fight here. But he explained, not only did he infuse his sword with energy, but didn't you also feel the bloodlust that he had? Do you think he made such a mistake because he was immature? This asshole is older than I am. Cheonjin belongs to the Namgung clan. Don't you already know very well what would happen if you continue with what you're doing? I'm already holding myself back a lot because he's from the Namgung clan. If our positions were reversed, what do you think would have happened? Just like that the cracking sound rang out. The cracking sounds came from the direction of Cheonjin, making Cheonjin even angrier at him, along with the pain of being tortured by him. He walked out with an expressionless face, waving his hands as if the matter was over. But very quickly his face changed again to a bit of worry. Did I just get into trouble? I wonder what the second elder would say if I told him I bloodied up one of the Namgung clan members. He'll probably let it go if I give him a rough explanation. He might actually praise me and say I did a good job. Well, I have a witness, and he's the one who was in the wrong to begin with. But suddenly an arm grabbed his sleeve. He turned back. Who's that? Byack said hesitantly. Name, tell me your name. He immediately pushed her hand off his shirt. Didn't I already tell you? I'm Gu Juliop. That's a lie. How did she know? Why do you want to know my name? To get revenge for your brother? But her expression at this moment did not show any concern about that. Her expression remained the same even though I beat her brother up so badly. She walked towards him and said it again. Tell me your real name. But he said. Why have you been talking like we're friends, though? She was now shy and did not dare to look straight at him. If I tell you my name, will you stop following me? She said nothing, just nodded vigorously. He hesitated for a moment. Gu Yang Cheon. Hearing this, her eyes looked down a little shyly, mouth repeating his name. Then he left that place thinking in his head. I don't think I can attend the Tang Weapons exhibition since I beat up that Namgung brat. This is better. I earned myself an extra day to look for the secret chamber. I'm a little tired after that fight. I'll rest a little first. Then he imagined when he went home, Mu Yun shouted. Young Master Yang Cheon, I heard you sent the Namgung clan's young master flying. This won't do. Starting today, I'll follow you all around until we return to make sure you don't get into any more trouble. Then he decided not to return, go to another place. In the room, Soel-Ah still sat outside absent-mindedly. Muyun hurriedly opened the door calling his name. Young master, attendant Wee? What are you doing here? No, I mean, have you seen young master Yang Cheon? Young master Yang Cheon, I haven't seen him, what's the matter? After going for a meal appointment with the clans this morning, he has yet to return. And, he also beat up a Namgung clan member. How do I report this? But suddenly her eyes became extremely strange, no longer innocent as usual. Then step outside looking towards town. The Yun clan of Yang Cheon, a martial arts clan that was the best merchant clan in Central Plains several centuries ago. They were a clan that had the strongest martial artist and also a tight rein on the flow of money back then. Even this very Yun clan that seemed like nothing could bring it down disappeared after a bloodshed. No one knows the reason behind the Yun clan's sudden disappearance, but based on the records left behind, all the secrets of the Yun clan are hidden under the white maple tree. He said, white maple tree, my ass. I don't even see any normal maple trees around. Also, it's not even autumn now. Where do I find maple trees? By now, it has probably become a dead tree. Additionally, it's supposed to be under a white maple tree. Maybe someone spread this rumor as a prank. I didn't eat anything for the whole day and I used up my energy in a fight. Now, I'm climbing a mountain in the middle of the night. But very quickly behind him, a person carrying a large bag came over and handed him the familiar honey cake. Do you want this, then? You being a greedy pig sure helps in times like this. I'm not a pig. Is that large sack of things full of food? Yes, that's a relief. I was just thinking if I should go back because I'm feeling really hungry. Was I of help? Yeah, you were. But now he realized, what are you doing here though? She smiled again and explained to him. He sat on the pile of food she had brought, and she told him. People started to look for me after finding out that I went missing, and you came all the way here just to find me? Yes, that's right. How did you know I was in the mountains? A gut feeling? Now that I'm here, you can rest easy. Sit down. You're going to get sand in the food. Then he thought, even though my hunger problem has been resolved, it doesn't change the fact that I can't find the white maple tree. Even if we search this place for 3 days using the remaining rations we have, there's no guarantee that we'll find it. Should I give up here? Then he ate and talked. Where would a white maple tree be in early summer? That's such a blatant lie. It's not a lie. It looked really pretty when I saw it just now. Yeah, it probably would be really pretty. But he once again flinched at the shock. Before finishing the sentence. What did you just say? You saw it? Yes, I saw it together with you. Me, with me? She happily smiled and replied yes.